Okay, so I have a rank 5 Ascended Omega Sentinel who happens to be the top champion of my account, which sometimes I completely forget is the case. But yeah, she has really good prestige, so she's the highest champion I have in my roster, and this is actually my first time taking her to war since I ascended her. She has always been one of my favorite tech champs. I think one of the most underrated tech champs in the game, even though people know she is very good. She's actually quite insane sometimes, and we're going to get to a lot of fights with her later in the video, but for starters, we have this Node 17 Vox that is already basically dead before I can even talk about what's happening. Yeah, it was like a rank 1 Vox, and I'm using my rank 2 Chavez, so that was really quick and easy. But next up, we have her first fight against this Pyramid X on Node 26. This is pretty easy for her. The goal for this fight is just I want to keep as many armors as possible, just in case that if I do magically miss Dex in SP1 or push her to SP2, then I'm gonna take barely any damage from it. So we're going to make sure we keep our Cowardice paused, and then once we get some Plasmas up, we have some extra protection from Inequity, and we can also get rid of the Willpower healing with Despair, so I don't have to worry about not having that heal block. But yeah, we throw the SP2, we now have 8 Plasma, they're ticking for almost 3k a tick, and so now it's just about keeping these debuffs and baiting out SP1s, and she's dead. So, yeah, really easy first fight for her. Yeah, it's just tick until she dies, keep those 10 armor ups up, and yeah, we just keep ending in lights because that does pause the debuffs, and then it ends right there with that SP1, so yeah, that was pretty nice. Rank 2 Pyramid X, I don't think it was rank 3, but yeah. Okay, so we have Galan on Node 35. This is a much needed break from fighting a bunch of Gores on 35. Gore is way better on this node than Galan is, because Chavez just completely destroys this Galan if you know what you're doing. This has Rich Get Richer, and what we just need to do is get some negative zones up, and then we can power control him. There's no such thing as power controlling this Galan too much like there is against Gore. With Gore, it's like you want to bait SP1s so that you can counter them and get some easy openings in. Galan, you can freely parry, so who really cares? You get openings for days. We are just making sure that he never hits 100 mass, and the way I'm doing that is just by letting him throw SP1s, and if a special attack is going to push him to the 100 mark, then we just knock him down and get rid of a bunch of his mass. We healed a good bit with that SP2 healing as well, and so yeah, that Galan just got completely deleted. And yeah, so we have another Omega Sentinel fight next. This is going to be against Apoc on Node 39, and Omega Sentinel is really, really good for this fight, and the main reason for that is because she is Nullify immune. And Nullify immunity in a tech champ is something I will always say is incredibly valuable, and it's one of my favorite things about techs is that when they're Nullify immune, it just makes them so much better for so many matchups, and nodes, especially ones on the war map like this one. So yeah, we're just trying to get the taunt up from tactic, keep our debuffs up at the same time. I am going to mess up some of my intercepts later in this fight, but the game plan here was just throw my SP3 with no power stings and no plasmas, and then it's pretty easy time after that. I should have just thrown it here, but I wanted to get an intercept in before I got parried. That was really dumb. But now I have a plasma on me, and the reason I wanted to throw my SP3 with no plasmas is because then I would play 6, but if I do have a plasma active, then it's going to detonate that plasma, and it will just do a burst of damage. That's not exactly what I wanted, so now my game plan is a little bit screwed. Of course, I'm going to get that burst damage from that plasma, but it's really not nearly as worth it as getting the 6 plasmas up would have been. That did 23,000 damage, but like, yeah, it's not nearly as good as I would have liked. We're just going to keep the debuffs paused. I'm stacking plasmas. I'm hoping that he's going to throw the special one while he's taunted. Instead, he just combos into my block, or just doesn't do anything. I should have actually like tried baiting it, but I wanted to spam plasmas at the same time. So it was a bit of a dumb move on my part, but at the end of the day, we're just going to finish him off with this SP2. I was a little worried that this wouldn't kill him, but no, it does. And yeah, so that is that Apoc down. Yeah, I didn't play it well at the end, especially, like, right after it came out that SP3, I just didn't play right, but whatever. Alright, so we have Vox on node 42 next. This is a really easy fight for Vox. Like, it's just a big Fant Man, and that you can't parry. That's the main thing of this fight. You can parry him when he has the protection up, but once that protection comes off, you're going to be taking quite a bit of one-eyed open damage, so we're just not going to take that once the protection falls off. And I'm not going to remove the protection until I get him with my SP1, just to guarantee that those degens are going to do a good bit of damage. We can stack a bunch of precisions by dexing his special ones, so that's really nice. We're immune to the power detonation, or not the power detonation, but the power drain that comes with it, I should say. So that definitely makes the fight a lot easier. We are going to have 21 degens initially. We're just letting those tick, and I want to hit his block to pause it ideally, but I didn't get that block bait, so I just decided to relic into the SP1. And now we have those debuffs locked back into intensifies, meaning my next SP1 is going to place almost like double the amount of debuffs. It's going to be pretty crazy. But right now I'm just baiting his SP1. Doesn't feel like throwing it too much, but then he finally does. And now I know I just need to throw one more SP1 and he's basically dead. I can't finish a combo while he's in Surging Swarm, or else I am at risk of getting stunned. So I am playing a little passive to get rid of those armors at first, but I got parried because I countered his heavy attack late. Totally my fault, but now we get the degen pause, and I'm like, okay, I can just chill now because I know he's dead. Yeah, there's so much overkill with those degens, man. So Vox, that's his first fight I've taken him to, and he absolutely crushed it. Was really happy with how that went. And next up, we have a Domino on node 44. I was very nervous about this fight going into it because Mega Sentinel has no willpower, meaning that since I have no resistance to incinerate, I am going to take a lot of damage when I'm incinerated. My game plan here was get my armor ups by hitting her block while the incinerate phase is on, and then we just want to 5-hit combo her to death most of the fight, especially when the poison is active. So we do get some healing when we are poisoned, however, we do have to deal with the fact that we are going to have less regen rate because of the poisons and because of the despair, but the regen also gets more potent the lower my health is, so that is going to help. But right now you can see it's only ticking for like 17 at one point, so it's something I do have to worry about. Now I'm just trying to chill out because I'm incinerated, and she's in the incinerate phase. But I need to get my taunt back up, which I'm going to not get there because she delayed my intercept a little bit. But whatever. I know I can dex her SP1s when I know I can dex her SP1s while rooted. So we are going to try to do that, but I'm in the corner now, and I'm like, well, okay, this sucks, and I can't hit her because she's in the incinerate phase. So I'm just going to have to dex an SP2 while rooted and pray that I have the timing correctly. But now I got the taunt, so I'm not even going to... Okay, I did just pray I had the timing correctly there. I also had 10 armors, so I want to say I would have been in a good spot, but if she auto-blocked me, I might not have been. Or, I mean, if she crit me, I might not have been. So now we're in the incinerate phase. I don't know why I hit her so many times in the incinerate phase. I have 3 on me now. Look at my health, man. It's getting destroyed, especially when those Daunteds are up, because everything does more damage when the Daunteds are up. Dude, the amount of times I've triggered my auto block this fight is insane. But either way, we're in the poison phase now. Never mind, we're in the incinerate phase now. Okay, so here is a fatal mistake I'm gonna make. My brain just did not register that she was an incinerate phase. Like, I literally just didn't even realize it, and now I have 6 incinerates on myself. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm about to die. So I'm just kind of backing off. I'm like, please fall off incinerates. I can't risk dying here. So we're going to go for the SP3. I don't remember if I had a plasma or not. If I did, it's going to detonate. If I didn't, we're going to get 6 plasmas. We're at 7% health. And I had to detonate, so actually we're just going to get her with the relic, and we're going to kill her. Just nearly a heart attack moment. Well, it was a heart attack moment, but nearly a heart attack death I just about had. Because my brain just did not register that she was in the incinerate phase there. And yeah, totally my fault. That was terrifying. A solo's a solo. Last Omega Sentinel fight, so who cares? Alright, so Chavez versus 47 Hulkling next. This is a fight that I probably should have used an indestructible boost for, but didn't. Either way, it's gonna go pretty well. I'll show you what's gonna happen later, but it's just a big Hulkling that has his special attacks cost half the amount of power, and that is very problematic for Hulkling. Oh my gosh, those crits on the SP2, man. I wish his regen wasn't as potent as it was, because now he's getting a lot of those crits back, but like, dude, that was crazy. And so I need to get more negative zones back up because they fell off. It is really frustrating to try to play aggressive in this fight because he's just going indestructible the entire time, and then the falter is happening all the time. Am I going to go for an SP3 there? I know I go for an SP3 at one point. Oh my goodness, I could have just gotten destroyed by that. I didn't register the falter. And we're going to go for heavy there. Just barely get that falter on him. I don't know when I'm going for an SP3. I know I used an SP3. I'm faltered again. Am I going to use it here? What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, we're going for another negative zone. And now I use the SP3. Okay, so he does regen from the SP3. However, it's still going to do a crap ton of damage anyway. It knocks off like 17% of his health. So now I'm like, okay, he's basically dead. He's going to have an indestructible coming back. However, I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. We are power draining him on every hit because he's expending a shift charge on every hit. He's got the indestructible back, but he's at 7% health, and once the special is done, he is also done. So, yeah, the heavy attack finishes him off. Yeah, so pretty clean Chavez fight. Definitely was a little bit wacky and wonky because of how much power he was gaining and stuff, but either way, that fight's over. That is a 4-mini war for me. 7 fights went really well. We did win the war by quite a bit. I actually got a lot of defender kills this war. I got war MVP as well, which I cannot remember the last time I've actually gotten war MVP, if ever. But yeah, so that was a really good war for me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.